All right, so Apple becomes hit 3 trillion. That's what we're talking about, right? So let's read a little bit more into this. Before dropping back under the mark shortly afterwards, Apple broke the barrier when its share price hit $182. So I couldn't see that on this chart right here, but apparently it hit $182, right? Let me hit that 1 year again, right? I was saying 179, but that was actually 182 at one point that it touched, right? The high of the day. So I would definitely at this point right now, if you've always looked for a nice spot where you can put some money in Apple with an outlook on 5 years, right? This is be a good starting point. Okay, now 3 months from now, if it crashes like what happened here, don't come back and say I advised you, because it's only 3 months, it's not 5 years, right? That's the same mindset you want to have about real estate or any type of game you're in. You got to have a 5 years outlook. Okay, you got to put your head down and go in 5 years. But I was saying you got to look for all little mini spots where you can celebrate little successes, right? So for example, if you're in wholesale real estate, one of the reasons I want to teach you step by step is because each one of those steps or stages represent places where you can celebrate a little success, right? If you wait, the last stage is to close a deal disposition, right? If you wait until you hit that last stage before you celebrate success, there is a very good chance you will quit before you hit that stage. And that's why majority of people that come into the game never made it. They never made it to their first deal. And many people that made it to their first deal never made it to the second deal. Okay, so I've just in my first 24 months in the game, I started back in 2005. I did more than 30 deals. So that's coming from somebody who's done over and over again. And I can tell you the mindset behind most people's motives. Most people's motives, they get started because they wanted to make money. That's nothing wrong with that. I started that same way, but I found out quickly that I wasn't going to make money. So I started my first seminar was 2004 December. I didn't close my first deal until 2005 December. So if that was a whole year, for many reasons, I was doing my master's degree, I was in school, I was also distracted by some other IT stuff, things like that, right? So but this is how life works. That life will distract you, things that authentically you're trying to do because you're trying to make money, but it requires a certain level of focus. And if you don't have that focus, then that shows up in the form of time until you close your first deal. The only one key that is non-negotiable is consistency. So either you're doing it quickly or you're doing it 1 year before you close your one deal. The one non-negotiable thing in all of this is consistency. If you're consistent, if you show up every day, you will close your first deal. You're going to be tested on your second deal because it may not come as fast or it may come way too quick, and it's a test, right? So at the end of the day, you want to create a system for yourself where you're able to show up every day, because human beings in general are not capable of consistency. That's just what it is. I didn't say that. It's something I've seen over. Human beings in general, we're not capable of consistency. We're not capable of showing up every day just because, unless there's some kind of incentive. We show up to work every day because there's a paycheck every Friday or every other Friday, right? But when you're trying to build a business, that's not you're not going to make paycheck on next Friday, right? Very likely not. And if you did, it would be a setup for failure, because the next check after that is going to take much longer, and you're going to feel like, oh, it doesn't work, I just got lucky, right? And the truth is that no, you didn't just get lucky. It's just a matter of consistency. If you work for a company right now, the same thing is also true, right? That company, whoever started that company, went through the same test, right? They went through a lot of ups and downs, and it wasn't easy. Okay, it wasn't really easy. Okay, so just wanted to make sure that you get that. All right, so let's get back to here. The milestone is mostly symbolic, but it shows investors remain bullish on Apple stock and its ability to grow. The ability to grow is what they're betting on right now. Apple was up, obviously. Again, don't forget it's the beginning of the year. You have to factor that in. So people are a little more optimistic than normal. But if you look at the trend into 1 year, well, it's kind of aligning with what we know about the Apple stock. All right, Apple was up over 2% during the intraday, trading on Monday to a price per share just under 182. Apple showed annual growth across all of its product categories in its fourth quarter's earnings. Okay, the products. See, one of the problems that I had with network marketing is that a lot of them, not all of them, a lot of them did not have solid back-end products. A lot of the products they're selling is actually the business opportunities. That is the definition of a Ponzi scheme and a scam. Okay. Sometimes there are products that look like products, but they're just camouflage products. And if you've been around long enough, you just be like, oh, this is not a real product. The actual product is the fact that the people that are buying it get to sell the same product and over. It's just not sustainable for especially the individuals. Some companies can be around for ages, by the way, playing the game. They have enough money, billions of dollars. They can fight cases in court. I'm talking about companies like Herbalife, Amway, and things like that. But for individuals, it's like they're running. It's the brand new rat race. It's the new age rat race. You're running a rat race, and you're basically working against yourself when you don't have a product that can sustain itself with or without somebody investing in it. Like most people using the Apple product are not people that will invest into the stock, and that's what makes it sustainable precisely. Okay, if most people buying into the Apple products are people that want to invest into the business, that is a failing business. Okay, you need what they call the mass adoption, meaning even if they're not interested in the business of it, they want that product. And I'm not talking about indirect competition, I'm talking about that particular product. Like for example, in this case, I'm talking about iPhones, I'm talking about iPads, I'm talking about iMacs, the MacBook, and things like that. People that are just interested, not because they're interested in the company, but because they're interested, they love the product, right? So while the iPhone is still the biggest sales driver, as we're talking, you see why you're an Apple hater if you don't have an iPhone. Only if you live in the United States, by the way. If you live in a third world country, this is not applicable to you. An iPhone is $700. Sorry, it's not it's $800. iPhone 13 is $800. I just got this last week. All right. Apple services business, this is a big deal, grew 25%. So even outside of direct consumer products or obvious consumer products, they're growing, right? This is what people are betting on. Okay, that's why you see that chart the way you've seen it. So with that being said, I think right about now, by the way, if you want more structured training and things like that, you heard Tyler earlier. He just joined. We have people joining every day. You want that? You want to make sure you go ahead and download my 2 free books and then join the free masterclass, okay, at www.realestatemoneysecrets.com. You can see that on the screen. As a matter of fact, I forgot to put on the scroller. All right. You can see that right there. So take advantage.